Hi children, welcome back to my class. Generally, among the students, there will be different categories. Some will be highly intelligent people, there will be clevers, there will be genius, and there will be brilliance. The same way, here in our lessons also, some famous personalities are considered as clever people, intelligent people, genius and brilliance too. And here we are going to see a life history of a person who is very famous, how he became that much genius and how he has become the icon of the understanding of genius and so on. It is a life story which we call it like a biography. And here I am to reveal to you the real meaning of biography, on the difference of biography and one more word that is associated with biography. That another word also is autobiography. Biography is life history of someone, and autobiography is life history of a person written by himself. Life story of a person written by himself or herself is known as autobiography. That is own life story. Whereas biography is life story of a person written by others other than himself or herself. So that is the small difference between biography and autobiography. And here we are going to see, as part of our fourth unit, that is a truly beautiful mind. A truly beautiful mind. Generally, when we say beautiful, what comes to our minds or what comes to our mind? Beautiful relates to something that appears nice or pleasant or fine or good looking and so on. Something physical aspects are involved in when we say something is beautiful and so on. Can be appearance of a person, can be appearance of a scenery, or can be appearance of an object and so on. But here something contradictory thing is mentioned. What is that? A truly beautiful mind. I don't think we will be able to see mind of any person for that matter. We may be able to see brain, but we can't see mind. But what is the intention of saying this expression or this phrase or this title, a truly beautiful mind? Meaning is that a way of thinking of a person, either it is beautiful or it is corrupted or it is connected or associated with evil thoughts and so on. When a person's thoughts are acceptable by others, pleasant to others, without causing any harm and so on, carefully catch my words, without causing any harm and so on, then one can say that that person whose thoughts, whose tendencies, whose mentality is fine and unharmful to others, that person's mind, we say, truly it is beautiful. So it is not connected to anything that is appearing outwardly. It has got something relation to the mindset of a person. person, thoughts of a person, the behavior of the person, the way one who acts, the way one, how he or she acts. So that is the real meaning of a truly beautiful mind. Beautiful mind we can't see, but we can see their way of behavior, their way of thinking through their actions and deeds and works. That's what the real meaning of a truly beautiful mind. It is mainly focused or centralized around the life of Albert Einstein. There are a number of great personalities, especially in the field of science for that matter, like Thomas Alva Edison, and who else can be for that matter? Galileo Galilei, plus Isaac Newton, and APJ Abdul Kalam, contemporary scientist. And there are a number of ancient scientists, or let's say old scientists and so on. And he also is among those scientists who Albert Einstein, he has contributed many of his contributions to the field of physics especially and so on. Since he was very expert in the field of physics and mathematics, he was considered as a genius. In the beginning, everyone thought he was something abnormal. He was used for nothing like that. But later, the society came to know about the greatness of this person and so on. We are going to see his life account, the biographical sketch of Albert Einstein, where he was born, his early life, his childhood, education, and his career, and his personal life, his achievements, and his contributions to any particular field that he is associated with, and conclusion of his life, that is death of his life, or end of his life and his death and so on. These things we are going to mainly focus on in this lesson, so called a truly beautiful mind and so on. Shall we see the outline of the biography of Albert Einstein and so on, when he was born? Just you come along with me, I will show you those details. See, here we are seeing about birth and childhood of Albert Einstein. He was born on 14th March in the year 1879. In which country? In the country of Germany, in a city known as Ulm. The city of Ulm, he was born in the country of Germany. It is a German city. In the year 1879, on 14th of March, Albert Einstein was born. When he was born with something typicality with his head. His head was looking something too large. At the moment of his birth, when his mother noticed that his head was too normal, she thought there is something abnormality with this person and so on. So she became somewhat disturbed by seeing her son with a large head, which is unusual to the normality and so on. And when he was in like a small boy and so on, he was not quite a good mixture with others. He was not mingling with others and so on. Whenever he was coming across with his playmates or classmates and peer group and so on, he was not mixing with others. He was not sharing his feelings and so on. Therefore, his companions used to call him like brother boring. Brother have given something pet name to him. Actually, his name is Albert Einstein. But since he was not normally mingling with all his peer group, which means his playmates, his fellow beings and so on, so they were not in good terms with this person. He was not going with them, sharing and playing and so on. He was something making himself aloof, away from others. He used to be always lonely. He used to spend his time in loneliness, solitude and so on. Therefore, his playmates and peer groups, his age people, his age children used to call him Brother Boring. And later, with the encouragement of his parents, he started to learn violin out of his interest, even though he was not that much of expert in learning or playing that musical instrument so called violin, but he started to learn and he learned violin and so on. So this is a small and short brief account of his birth and childhood. Next we have got Einstein as a student. What is his school life? What was his school life? What type of student he was? Whether he was good at his studies or he was denied from his studies, and in which school he studied, and how he was feeling about the rules and regulations of those schools where he was put in. See here, as a student, he studied in Munich. Look here, everybody. Einstein as a student, like you are studying in Vedas public school, like that only. Here, he also studied in Munich. But because the school was having so much of rules and regulations in a rigid manner, so strict manner, he was unable to cope with that kind of regimentation of the school and so on. He had to leave the school in between. So he left the school and joined a German-speaking school in Switzerland. So here he changed his school from Munich to a German-speaking school in Switzerland and so on. And as a student, like how you like some subjects, like you have got certain subjects as your favorite subjects, he also was having his favorite subjects too. What are those favorite subjects? He was very good at maths and physics. He was very brilliant in mainly two subjects. That is, one is mathematics, the other one is physics. He has shown his brilliance. His teachers and the faculty in those schools, they have noticed his interest, his brilliancy in those subjects, and they also encouraged how you are being encouraged by some of your teachers like us too. Yes. And he studied in his higher studies. He joined in the university in Zurich. After finishing his school studies and so on, he went for higher studies and he joined the university in Zurich. And he met there a person called Mileva Maris. When he was studying in university as a college student, he had come across a lady, a girl named as Mileva Maris. Later, he marries her. He comes to in good contact with that woman, so called Mileva Maris, and he proposes her to marry, and they both get married after quite a long time. So this is about his school life, about his schooling as a student in colleges and schools. Next, we are going to move on to the other aspect of his biographical sketch, that is his life story, that is the beginning of his career. After finishing his studies, how he went forth, how he moved, in which profession he settled, which profession he selected for his future. These things we are going to see here. In the year 1900, he became university graduate after finishing his college studies and so on. In this particular year, which year? 1900. In the year of 1900, he became university graduate, had received his graduation certificate. Yes, in 1900. Next, in the year 1902, he got a job at patent office in Bern. Later on, he some new theories to the field of science, especially to physics. And there he proposed the theory of relativity. Look at here all. What is this one? Theory of relativity. Theory of relativity. There is certain theory, like we have got in physics, in mathematics, different theories, theorems and so on. Like that only he has given theory of relativity. What does it speak about? What does theory of relativity speaks or explains? The theory of relativity mainly speaks of time, distance and so on. What is about this time and the distance? Albert Einstein says in theory of relativity that time and distance are not absolute. They are not absolute. They will be changing based on some other factors. This is what he mainly stressed upon in his theory of relativity. In which year it was published? In the year 1905. 1905, he has proposed, he has published the theory of relativity, giving one famous formula. Of course, at that time it was not that much famous. Now it has become worldwide famous. That is E is equal to mc square. This is being said and proved by Albert Einstein as part and parcel of his theory of relativity. It mainly speaks and emphasizes and elaborates on relationship between mass and energy followed by the as they were followed by the world. This mainly focuses and speaks and emphasis on relationship, the connection, the association of mass and energy, which are main elements, like main factors in the field of physics, like relationship between mass and energy as if they are followed by the world. These things are explained mainly in theory of relativity. If you have further queries about theory of relativity, you can approach your physics master and know all the details of these theory and so on. Yes, since we are dealing about mainly about his life history, we are not going that much in depth of that theory of relativity and so on. I hope you got what I am saying. Yes. Next, so this has become very famous invention or very famous finding out or proposal of Albert Einstein throughout the world, especially in the field of physics and so on. They have approved it later when he has shown some kind of evidences and so on. And he has received Nobel Prize in the year 1921. In the year 1921, Albert Einstein was selected for the Nobel Prize. Nobel Prize will be given only to some people who contribute their best for certain fields like environmental issues, the issues connected to establishment of peace, the issues connected to humanity and human service, and in the field of medicine, and in the field of physics, chemistry, economics and so on. Understand? For discovering something, I mean inventing something or doing some kind of humanitarian service. For such people only, this Nobel Prize is mainly issued or given. Especially it is given on every year, December 10th, on the birthday of Alfred Nobel. Yes, so for that one, he was selected in the year 1921 for proposing theory of relativity. He proved, this theory of relativity was proved by solar eclipse in the year 1919. Even though he proposed it, he has published it, the world did not accept it. When he showed practically in the year 1919, when some solar eclipse occurred on the space, that time he has given much explanation practically, then the world accepted. They approved his proposal of theory of relativity and so on. In the year 1921, he got Nobel Prize. Next, what about this Mileva marriage? We have already mentioned that he met a young lady at university when he was studying there. So he thought that lady is in the same track of his mind also and so on, because she was also doing some kind of experiments. She was showing much interest in the field of science and so on. So he thought, Albert Einstein thought that she is also the same mindset of himself. He liked her and they both of them get married. Both of them got married. Mileva marries Einstein, but both of them got divorced in the year 1919 only. Later, he marries one of his cousin, and he dies in the year 1955. In the year 1955, at the age of 76 years old. Before that, Einstein helps the world not to destroy one country, the other country, and so on. I just read them for you. When Nazis came into power in Germany in the year 1933, and Einstein emigrated to the United States of America. And 5 years later, Albert Einstein discovered nuclear fission. He wrote a letter to the American president, that is Franklin D. Roosevelt, and gave a kind of warning to this president of America, that is Franklin D. Roosevelt, against the use of atom bomb. He said, don't use. If you use this atom bomb, there will be so much of explosion, there will be so much of destruction on this earth. Like that, he wrote a letter to the president of America. Yet, the Americans secretly developed atom bomb and dropped it on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in the year 1945 in the month of August. He knows, Albert Einstein knows the amount of the loss, the damage that will be caused by the use and explosion of atom bomb. He wrote a warning letter to the American president, that is Roosevelt, no? Yes, Franklin D. Roosevelt. But he did not mind the words of Albert Einstein, and they experimented that bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which has caused a lot of damage in the year 1945 in the month of August. And even he entered into politics, because as a scientist, if he just go on experimenting and so on, he can invent new things. But the people who are in power, they are not listening to the good words of this kind of good persons and so on. So only he also wanted to enter into the field of politics. He was shaken after the bomb was dropped in Japan, when these US, American states and so on, when they experimented, when they used this atom bomb on the Hiroshima and Nagasaki and in the country of Japan, he was so touched, he felt so sad. So only he entered into politics. He campaigned for peace. He started a movement for peace, not to use such kind of atom bombs and so on. And he mainly stressed on democracy. He mainly stood for democracy and agitated for an end of the arms build-up. He insisted not to develop any arms, especially this kind of nuclear weapons like atom bombs and so on. He insisted, he agitated, he protested all of them in order to establish peace, in order to not destroy peace and so on. Yes, such kind of brilliant, such kind of genius, such kind of beautiful minded person has expired in the year 1955 at the age of 76. What a sad moment. So this is, in brief, the life story of Albert Einstein. I hope you got some ideas, the outline of Albert Einstein's life. If you want to know about more further details of this person, we will read in the next class the detailed information of Albert Einstein's life, and you kindly go through the text and try to get the insights, the ideas and aspects that are related to Albert Einstein's life and so on. Thank you for listening to me and follow our channel for more videos like this. Thank you.